Alright, so on the left, it's the LG Dare for Verizon Wireless. On the right, the Samsung Instinct for Sprint. First things first, the Dare came out with a list price of $199 on a 2-year contract. Instinct, $129 on a 2-year contract. As far as the plans go, basically Instinct gives you a little bit more bang for your buck with Sprint's new Simply Everything plan. You get, the pricing when you look at a similar plan from Verizon with voice and data, the pricing's about even, but with Verizon you've got to pay a little extra for certain things. With Sprint they throw everything in there, GPS, TV service, just about everything with the exception of downloading music and some of the premium music channels. But basically, value-wise, the Instinct is the way to go. So let's move beyond that to the design. Really, I think it's a matter of personal preference here. I think they're both really good-looking phones. I've been testing them out for a while. Neither one has any major damage. The Instinct got a scratch kind of right away on it down here by one of the keys, by the back arrow. Dare I accidentally dropped onto an asphalt parking lot, and so it got a little bit dinged up down here in the corner. You can see that, but that's going to happen with any phone. So I think it comes down to, personal style. Myself, I would opt for the Dare because it's smaller. I think that the screen size, you lose a little screen size with the smaller body, but for what I use it for, I think it's big enough. And I kind of like the fact that it fits right into one hand, whereas, the Instinct, obviously it fits in my hand, it's a little bit bigger, a little bit longer. Again, I think they're both attractive phones. They both have really good, bright screens. They're comfortable to hold and to use. You look at the back panel, very similar, the soft touch, easy grip plastic with the camera equipment on the back. So, design-wise, my personal preference is Dare, but again, I think it's pretty even. It's a matter of personal taste. Feature-wise, again, I think you could give a slight advantage to Instinct in terms of just sheer number of features. You've got, Sprint TV, and you've got the streaming audio content on Instinct, which you don't have on So getting to features, they're pretty similar when you're not considering value. When you consider value, as I said before, Sprint gives you a little bit more for your buck in terms of monthly service charges as well as the initial cost of buying the phone. But actually, when you're looking at the features, it's kind of a push. There's a few things Instinct does that Dare doesn't. Instinct has the streaming TV feature, and it does visual voicemail. On the other hand, Dare has a better camera and has some customization options that Instinct doesn't. So it depends what you're looking for. Myself, I use my phone a lot for the web, for listening to music, and for taking pictures, in addition, of course, to voice calls and texting. Dare has a better camera. 3.2 megapixel autofocus flash, full VGA video recording, and the image quality is very good for a camera phone. So definitely, if you're looking for the best camera phone of the two, Dare's the way to go. Instinct, on the other hand, the GPS and voice command system are excellent. Dare has Verizon's VZ Navigator, which is quite good, but I'm giving a little bit of the edge to Instinct with that stuff. Sprint TV, which, I'm not a huge fan of personally, but it comes with the plan and you've got it. And, if you want to keep up on live sports, that kind of thing, or just kill time watching TV, you can do that on Instinct, which is great. They both support purchasing music over the air, as well as side-loading music from your computer. Get a micro SD card slot here on both of them. As far as the actual kind of ease of use, menus, operating system, that kind of thing, and the touch screen itself, I'm giving a little bit of an option, a little bit of an advantage rather, to Dare, although I know that some people are going to give an advantage to Instinct. So objectively, it's pretty close to even. I give the Dare the nod for a couple reasons. First of all, Dare lets you customize your background. I can change this animated wallpaper to a different one or to a still picture or what have you. Instinct, you can't change the screen as far as personalizing it. You can change, you can personalize what the shortcuts are. You know, you've got this favorite menu, and so you can change those things. So functionality-wise, it's great, but you can't have an image. With Dare, not only can you have an image on the background, which I just think is kind of fun. I like having an image on my phone when I look at it. But you can also, you can go to, not that one, you can go to the menu, and maybe it was that one. Yeah, it was. So you can go to the menu and you can customize this menu, and then you can also grab things off of the menu and add them to the home screen. So you can combine your customized background with your shortcuts. So to me, that's kind of a step up from Instinct, which has great, you know, shortcut abilities, but you can't have the fun of having an image or an animated wallpaper in the background. Instinct will let you set your lock screen to an image or an animated background, but that's it. So, you know, in terms of the UI, they're both pretty easy to use. One funny thing about Dare that you just saw me do, actually, is there's a little bit of confusion between going to the main menu as opposed to going to the favorite shortcut menu. I don't think it's a big deal. You get used to it, you know, if you use it a lot. If you don't switch phones every day for reviews like I do, then you get used to it, you know what it does, and you can set it up and make it custom, and it works well. So again, slight edge on usability and UI to the Dare. As far as the touchscreens go, they're pretty even. I might give a slight advantage to the Dare, except that it's smaller, and so then I think it comes out to be kind of a push. They're both definitely better than a phone like the Samsung Glide, or I think the Dare is a little bit better than the LG View. The View that I had, at least, when I scrolled around on it, it squeaked a lot, and this one doesn't do that. Neither one is as responsive as an iPhone. You can't really flick to scroll through things like you can on an iPhone, but they're both very good. They both work well. Other features, you know, the media player, they both work well. As I said, you can buy content. You can stream Vcast audio and video on Dare. Instinct has the Sprint TV. It also has the Sprint Music Store. If we fire up the actual music store on each of them, so we'll go to Vcast Music on the left. You can see the Dare I found to be a little bit snappier. The Instinct, to be fair, actually has more content loaded on it right now, so that wasn't a good example, to be fair. But I did generally find they both work well. The Dare, I thought, is just a tiny bit snappier than Instinct, but they're both really quite good. So we'll load up the store on both of them, and you can see, you know, this is also just to mention that this is a slightly new look for Verizon in terms of the menu systems and everything. You know, they've been getting a bad rap over the past couple of years for having their same old kind of clunky menu systems. But, you know, they've done a little bit more with this one, branched out a little bit, which is always nice to see. So look, here it is, Instinct versus Dare. Honestly, it comes down to a matter of personal preference. What do you like in a phone? What do you want to do with it? If you want the most features possible, or if you want the best GPS or voice-activated system possible, I think Instinct's the better bet. If you want a great camera, if you value a more fun UI, more customization in terms of the look and feel of the phone, or if you want something a little bit smaller, I think Dare's a better bet. They're both really good. They both have pluses and minuses. As far as web browsing and texting, which we didn't really get into showing, they're both about equal. They both have HTML browsers. They're not full-on, you know, like iPhone or Series 60 Nokia browsers, but they're full HTML. They can do, you know, a fair amount. And for texting, you know, they both have full QWERTY as well as smaller keyboards. They both have handwriting recognition. You know, they both work fine. They have their quirks, but they work well. When it comes down to it, which one is for you? Again, I always say this, but you really have to decide that for yourself. Value-wise, one more thing. Value-wise, Instinct's a little bit of a better value, a little bit cheaper, $129 versus $199 for a retail price, and then monthly, you know, you get a little bit more on the Instinct plan than you do for Dare in terms of spending the same amount. My personal pick, if it was me, I would go with Dare. Why? Because I really like a phone that has a good camera. The things I use, again, as I said before, my phone, I use it for voice and for texting, and then beyond that, mostly it's web, email, camera, and music. Both phones have, like I said, the web browsers are pretty similar. They both have good music players with standard 3.5mm headphone jacks, so you can plug in your own headphones. They both have email clients. But then you get down to it, Dare's a little bit smaller, which I like, and it has a killer camera. 3.2 megapixels, flash, full VGA camcorder. Instinct, 2 megapixels, and it has a camcorder, but it's not as good. Image quality, video capture, not as good, no flash, so Dare gets the edge there. So my vote personally is Dare, but again, they're both good. It's a matter of personal preference. All right? There's much more on both of these phones on PhoneDog.com. As always, I'm Noah. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. We'll see you later.